reactor itself, obviously you're saying there was an actual RBMK reactor of the same design there in Lithuania, which you were able to access that, and you LiDAR'd it and surveyed it?
Yes, we were incredibly fortunate because we didn't have access to it at the beginning, and they were in heavy negotiations when I first joined, and there was, well, if we had to do all these sort of plan Bs, if we don't get access, what are we going to do? How are we going to do this? But we were incredibly fortunate to get access to it, and I think we're the only film crew that have ever been allowed in there. And we were given pretty much unfettered access to the main reactor hall, to the exterior, to the administration blocks, which we were enormously grateful for because it was built at the same time. So a lot of the interior decoration is all authentic. It's all exactly as you imagine.
You can really feel it when you watch the show, that the level of detail, the authenticity in every shot of the interior and the exterior, both before and after the disaster, is fantastic. And then there was a pre-existing model you already had of the destroyed site, the exterior, but you had to do. Did you have to do much work to rebuild it, to get it up to scratch for the show?
Yes, no, absolutely. I mean, the difficulty that we had was we had an exterior rubble pile set at Martinez, which is just outside Vilnius, where we were going to film the firefighters. We subsequently had access for a week at Ignalina Nuclear Power Station. And then we had a CG model, which we had acquired, of the whole Chernobyl environment. Right. And as I said, that covers around about 12.5 square kilometers. The model that we had was fairly low resolution, but what we had to do in the end was to try and marry these three locations up: the CG model, the Martinez rubble pile set, and Ignalina. We ended up with a full virtual environment of all the sets. Then it was a case of going in and really trying to work out, well, where are our camera angles going to be? Right. Where is the level of detail that's going to be required?
Did you know all the camera angles at that stage?
So we had a fair idea of where we were going to be from the live shoot. What subsequently happened was that we, during post-production, we wanted to get some other camera angles. We needed to do other shots where we weren't on the ground, we weren't limited to the approach road. We had to get up onto the chimney, we had to get up onto the roofs, which meant that we were going to have to go virtually into our virtual sets in a lot of other places. And at that stage, we didn't really know where we were going to be. I think we probably had a loose ideas at that stage, loose discussions with Johan. But what it meant was that certainly for reactor 4, which is our hero reactor, we had to really detail up that so that wherever we went, wherever we positioned our camera, it was going to work. And subsequently in the show, you'll see we're actually up looking at we're panning around the chimneys, which are full CG shots. We pan down straight down into the open core where we see the corium lava at the bottom. That's another full CG shot. So we knew we were going to be looking in, and that was a very, very heavy build. One of the things that I really was very concerned about was that we shouldn't have any what I call illegal camera moves. So any flying camera moves where the camera is something the way it wouldn't have been on the day. You wouldn't have had a floating camera looking at the helicopters coming in. So we kept everything, as I said, what I call legal. So if you can put it on 3 legs, or if you can put it on a dolly, or if you can put it on a jib arm, that was the limit of our camera moves. And it keeps people within the story. You never sort of are pulled out to think, well, hang on a sec, that's a modern CG camera move.
Yes.
Everything had that sort of level of authenticity.